Cold Feet at Christmas, also called Christmas Wedding Runaway, is a film from 2019. This is directed by Harvey Crossland and is written by Alison, Spuck, McNeeley and Casie, Tabanou. And it stars Sara Mitich as Maggie, and Maggie is about to get married in the opening scene, and she gets cold feet, and she flees, and she takes her sister's car with her sister's permission, and decides to drive to her grandmother's house, Nana. And I don't know why Nana wasn't at the wedding. I actually, after watching the entire film, I went back and watched the first 10 minutes, and I still didn't catch why she wasn't at the wedding. So if anybody did catch that information, please feel free to let me know. It's massively convenient that she wasn't there, because then obviously Maggie could go there. And part of the film is about her hiding out at Nana's house and also reconnecting with an old flame, Colt, played by Harmon Walsh, and Nana is played by Mimi Kuzyk. And it's a pretty decent dynamic. The three of them, they work really well together, and the relationship between Maggie and Colt is definitely one that I thought was very interesting, very fascinating, and in part unpredictable, but obviously it's a Christmas-themed rom-com. There are definitely predictable elements to it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that part of it. The sister, I thought, was a little bit awkward, to be perfectly honest. Nothing wrong with the performances. Nobody's performance was bad at all. But I found the sister to be a really almost creepy character, because she definitely was attracted to Maggie's fiancé, and it just felt weird, and it was uncomfortable, and I didn't like the character at all. So whenever she was in it, I just thought, you're making me feel a little bit awkward. The fiancé is Douglas, played by Joseph Cannata, and he's an interesting enough character. He's not unlikable, but I didn't care for him. But Olivia, the sister, I definitely found her to be just a little bit awkward. Other than that, I enjoyed the film well enough. I don't want to say too much more about the specifics of the narrative, as I do recommend it, but it took a direction I wasn't expecting, and I liked that. I didn't expect certain things to happen, and I think it made it more enjoyable that it wasn't completely predictable. It's got a lot of snow, and that's partly because they're snowed in this at Nana's house, and there are some beautiful animals, beautiful horses in this. And there's a decent amount of Christmas. It's not the most over-the-top Christmas film, so if you prefer festive films to be a little bit more subtle, this one might appeal to you. But there was enough in it for me to be satisfied. The characters, aside from Olivia, were otherwise quite likeable, or love to hateable. There were a couple of characters who maybe weren't the nicest people, but I don't think we were meant to like them, so that worked out quite well. And Nana was pretty awesome. Colt I quite liked, and Maggie as well. I don't have a bad word to say about her. So it's a pretty good film. It's not amazing, but it's not too bad. As I said, if anybody picked up on why Nana wasn't at the wedding, please let me know, because I might have missed it. I might have missed it. But other than that, and, well, one other thing that I didn't like, actually, but not so much that it affected my overall enjoyment of the film, I liked it. So I do recommend it. I'll only say one more thing, and this is a spoiler for the final scene, actually. And this is just one other thing that I didn't like, in the interest of balance. Generally a really good film, but I thought this was a bit of a weird decision, to be honest. So spoilers from now as I discuss the final scene quite briefly. The final scene involves everybody getting married, basically. It's set 1 year later. And I just thought the idea of having a double wedding was so ridiculous. And I don't understand why they'd want to do that. Allow yourself to have a special day. Don't have a double wedding. Especially since your double wedding is with your former fiancé. That's just... It doesn't seem like a positive thing to happen. They needed a way to end the film, and they needed a way to focus on the relationships, but they could have just focused on Maggie and Colt and it would have been fine. And maybe showing Olivia and Douglas hugging and kissing in the audience of the wedding, in the guests in the wedding party. If you kind of focused on them to show that they were still a happy couple, maybe showing off an engagement ring on Olivia's finger, that would have been better than just having a double wedding. So there were other ways to end the film without saying that neither of the couples are worth their own special day and they have to share. So didn't love that ending. But aside from that, Cold Feet at Christmas or Christmas Wedding Runaway, it's not a bad film, and I'd say it's worth watching.